Winter break was marked by the end of our first semester of finals, all of which I'm grateful to have learned I passed a few weeks later because, as usual, this video is late. After finals, a few other friends from med school and I packed our bags and headed to Mammoth. Road trips are always a fun way to travel with loved ones. Nothing beats quality time like endless hours of carpool karaoke. We stopped for lunch along the way, as well as at Manzanar National Historic Site. In 1942, this is one of 10 internment camps in which the US forced over 100,000 Japanese Americans into. I enjoy going to various museums to learn more about culture, art, history, and just the world at large, and this was no exception. It was a humbling experience, especially given that it hasn't even been a century since this occurred, and unfortunately, such atrocities are still happening in the world today. We then headed over to our home for the next couple days. It's kind of surreal living in California and being so close to so many different biomes. A few hours drive will take you from the city to the beach or the desert or the mountains. Our cabin consisted of a living room upstairs, complete with a cozy fireplace and a pull-out couch. We also had a spacious bedroom with a nearby bathroom that had a very tiny shower, but it was sufficient for our needs. Downstairs is another bedroom, bathroom, and closets. Again, nothing fancy, but it was cozy and perfect for our group. That night we made dinner and played Resistance, which is a card game that I'm apparently quite terrible at, but what else is new? It was fun, and that's all that matters. Next morning we woke up to a beautiful winter wonderland and explored the area. We tried going on a couple different hikes, but most of the routes were either snowed or iced over, and we didn't have the appropriate gear, so we kind of just walked around where we could and enjoyed the lovely landscape. It was quite cold, but really peaceful. Being out in nature always feels like a reset button on life. All of the worries of school and work kind of wash away, and I'm reminded that life is about so much more than the classroom and the hospital. I know it's kind of silly to say that because of course life is more than that, but sometimes it can be easy to forget during the day-to-day grind. We've walked about 3 miles so far, still have about half a mile to go, and we'll be at the lake with the overlook. Well, here's the lake that is not free flowing right now. After our hike, I heated up some taquitos for lunch and worked on an essay for a scholarship application. We then walked into downtown, explored various shops, and got more groceries. The holiday spirits and decorations were all around, which was quite lovely. As always, I looked up penny collector locations because I collect them wherever I travel. Look how shiny it is. We took the bus back to our cabin and our group made a hearty dinner of apple orzo, and I ended the night with a deep talk with a good friend.
Like real friendships can like withstand like space and time basically. Like you guys cannot talk, like if you guys don't talk for 10 years or so and you meet like your like a friend who's like a real friend, it's like no day has ever passed.
Chefs in the making. After breakfast, we drove over to the mountain to get our snow gear on. The majority of the group raced down blacks, but this was my first time skiing, so the struggle was quite real. I will say that I definitely find skiing to be much easier than snowboarding, and I'm also very grateful for my friends' patience and willingness to teach me, despite how mind-numbingly dull my slopes must have been for them. I did eventually get the hang of the greens and was able to go down on my last time without falling at all, so I consider that a success. Oh look, another activity I'm terrible at, but it's so much fun, and definitely one of my favorite pastimes. Then it was time to go home. Home is where high school friends are, so we caught up and played some card and board games. I'm grateful to have them by my side after all these years. Definitely something to be appreciative this holiday season. My parents and I then headed to Vegas, which has been a childhood vacation site throughout my life given its proximity to Southern California. I love it because all I do there is eat, sleep, and eat some more. Of course, gotta get some exercise in though, so I hopped on the stationary bike and finished reading Michelle Obama's new book, The Light We Carry. Back home again, I caught up with another friend who got the cutest puppy. We walked around for a couple hours while saying hi to other dog parents and catching up on the past few months of life. The next day I did a bit of studying, but only a bit. I tend not to study much during school vacations, which I tend to regret afterwards when exams roll around, but I think it's necessary to fully unplug every once in a while to explore, spend time with loved ones, and just enjoy life. And winter break means more winter activities, so my friends and I went ice skating, which, surprise, surprise, I'm also not great at, but it was a good time. Especially because getting laughed by kids a fraction of my age never fails to get a laugh out of me. Also, this is rather specific, but I love Zambonis because they remind me of one of my favorite movies, Ice Princess, and that always brings back good childhood memories. We then met up with another friend and explored part of downtown LA and got ramen for dinner. I'm a huge fan of handwritten cards and personalized gifts, so I put together some goodies from Costco for movie nights. Ended the year making pad thai, which is a recipe I've been waiting to try my hand at for a while. I met up with my best friend earlier this week to go over our goals and wishes for the next year. I know New Year resolutions get a lot of bad rep, but I'm actually a huge fan of setting objectives for myself, and the start of a new year is as good a checkpoint as any in my mind. I think second semester will be a bit more stressful than my first one because I'll have to start applying for away rotations, getting ready for step 2, and preparing to apply for residency, but I'm grateful for these past 2 weeks. This video is really late, but I hope that everyone watching had a wonderful New Year and holiday season with loved ones. Thanks for watching. I'll see you another Sunday. Until then, I surely hope that you'll take care of your health.